over the weekend, we saw the former governor of Rivers State in a media chat, basically repeating himself. But finally, this time, adding that Simlai Fubara is an ingrate. Do you see Barrister Wike calming down, like we say in the streets, and actually making moves for genuine peace between him and his protege, the governor of Rivers State?
Well, peace would be beneficial to the state because any territory that its borders are troubled, there can never be any out of development coming in. So, to the interest of Rivers people and the state at large, there would be need for peace. But to ask if I foresee the former governor, suing for peace, I do not see that, because there are already strategies in motion to take out the governor of the state, to pave way for circumstances that would bring in someone else whom the governor thinks is more loyal. You can give it to Wike for his craft in this kind of business. You already knew that at some point in the nearest future, the governor may not align to his interests, and then of course he brought in his brother Martin Sambehule to be the Speaker of the House of Assembly, brought in a female deputy governor whom he felt he could intimidate out of power, and then of course strategically had now removed the PDP chairman of the state for an Obiakpo to become the acting chairman of PDP. We have a nominated rec from Rivers State who is also from Obiakpo. So when you look at all of these things, at play, it's a clearly meditated plan.
I was just going to ask you, when you say that he has put mechanism in place to ensure that the governor of Rivers State is ousted, then you begin to mention this, and if I get you correctly, the rec appointed amongst those sworn in is from Obiakpo.
Yes.
The latest PDP chairman that took over from God's Desmond from Obiakpo. Okay, what other mechanism did you mention? Okay, Martina Mehule
from Obiakpo.
Okay.
So and there are several other appointments. Of course, the chief of staff from Obiakpo. There are several strategic appointments.
Who is the chief of staff now?
The one that was appointed has not been changed.
Who is he?
He's from Obiakpo.
What's the person's name? Can you remember?
I can't remember exactly, but he's from Obiakpo.
Because I can't even remember reading anything or knowing anything about this person.
He's still there. So, the former governor has strategically positioned, in this. So I made reference to this so that I'll draw in the Ijaw thing into the equation. As at now, Rivers State has never been so polarized on ethnic lines. And you would not blame the Ijaws at this point coming to stand for their own. They had already seen all of these instances I have mentioned, where the former governor himself is ethnically driven. And we have asked the question in public space: what are the offenses of the governor? Before an impeachment process is instituted, the assembly is supposed to call the attention of the state governor to say these are the defaults of your administration. Up till this moment, yes.
But again, before you go on, have you been privy to the impeachment notice sent to the governor? A copy of it?
We just hear there are impeachment notices, but it's not in public space. We don't know what the content is, and the public demands to know, because the House of Assembly members are representing our respective state constituencies, and it is believed that they do the wish of the people. Now, when the people are alienated from the claims that you have against a serving governor, whom you would claim was elected by the people, then it means that the people that are supposed to be representing us are acting for their selfish plans, not actually in the interest of the people. So why don't we have access to what these notices are to the state governor? And when you ask the former governor, who is now the minister, he doesn't say anything concerning constitutional breach. He has never mentioned.
I was going to that.
So
when he talked about in the last media chat, which is basically what he's been saying, he has said over and over that he doesn't forgive. We already know that. He has said over and over again that nobody can tamper with his structure. He has said over and over again about how he bought forms for them how he took him to Germany to meet Julius Berger, and all of those details that we are beginning to wonder how is it related, just like you're asking, to the issue. Ijaw Youth National Congress is saying, hey, make peace with your political godson who is now the governor. We don't want you to disrupt the administration of Fubara because of what he's doing already and all of that. One brother begins to ask, what exactly makes Fubara an ingrate? INC is on one hand saying they should make peace. If as at Friday, the man is not talking about peace. This is after President Tinubu had intervened, mediated between them. He came out in the media and made several other statements that seemed to be antagonizing whatever the president had said. Now that's on one side. After he made that media chat, same was seen in Delta State, but we'll come back to that. But let's quickly address some of this issue. When you say he's an ingrate, some of them is talked about how he bought form for him, took him to Germany and all of those places, introduced him to this so that the ring road can be A, B, C, D and all of that. You're asking, just like everyone is asking, what exactly has he done that breached the Constitution, that should warrant impeachment and all of that? Nothing is being said about that. So now, these factors, you bought form for him, just like you did for the assembly members. You took him so place to introduce him to the construction company. And then you maybe paid for everything about his campaign, maybe as a political godfather. Are these grounds enough to impeach the governor? Are these grounds enough to make someone an ingrate because he is meant to be serving the purpose of the millions of Rivers people and not that of his political father? What exactly made him an ingrate? Are these grounds enough for impeachment?
Well, we're in a very messy situation. In Senate claims, you won't even come to public with some of these things, because how would someone claim or boast to have bought forms from the entire 32 members of the River State House of Assembly, the entire House of Representative members, the entire 3 senatorial candidates of his party, and then the governor, an individual.
But he did.
Who was a serving governor. Where did you get such finances from? Because in Senate claims, you don't bring some of these things to public. How did you amass such wealth?
Who is going to investigate
How did you get such money to even buy forms for all of these persons, sponsor their campaigns, and install them? So you're saying that the people's votes didn't even matter. You had your way, some way behind, to make them governor. And in coming to the public to even say these things does not even make sense. But that's the kind of society we're in the first place.
No, but who do you think is going to investigate him for making that statement? He has said a lot of things that...
The ICPC is there, the EFCC is there, the police is there, but it's unfortunate.
So do you think they have not heard these statements over and over again?
They have.
Even during the campaigns, these things were out.
They have, and that's the kind of country where we're in. And that's why I have said in several fora that, look, the disposition of the current minister, you know, and I'm saying this as a Nigerian, you know, it's a dent on the mantra of the president, which is a renewed hope. Because the renewed hope is to, you know, inspire Nigerians to understand that we could do better against what has been the precedences. We could do better. We can change our institutions. We can change the way we do things. But it appears that there's a boldness, you know, being exuded, you know, which is totally against what is being preached as the renewed hope, and that's a dent on Mr. President already. And I always advise that the minister needs to call himself and be a bit careful. You don't bring some of these things to the public, and in any ways, all of these things that are brought up to the public are not even recognized by the Constitution. They are not even grounds for impeachment.